With uPlanIt, you're not stuck with the component list that came with your reserve study. That is now just your starting point. You can change anything, easily adjust the costs, push out expenses or draw them closer, or even add or delete reserve projects from the list. In real time, see how these changes impact the reserve needs of your association. Keep watching to see how other association board members are using uPlanIt to take ownership of their component list and their future. Okay, so let's settle in. Let's now find out what it looks like and what you can actually do with it. So I'm going to step away from the PowerPoint in just a moment. What we're going to do is show you how you can adjust the cost, the timing, deleting, unfunding, and adding some components. Ready? So here we go. As I said, you access through our client centers, so you log in, and you can see how fast I can type while I talk. Good. That may have been my hardest thing right there, typing when I have people watching. And this is the view that you would see if you were a portfolio manager. You'd see your entire list of associations that have been had reserve study prepared by Association Reserves. If you are a board member or an on-site manager, when you log in, you'll see just your association. And here for today, I've got a simple association. It's a sample 5-building townhome. We'll use that primarily as our demonstration site. So let's select this association. And this is where you would naturally come to see your completed reserve study, the different versions we've prepared through the years. This is where the primary contact would add a privileged user, like a board member or committee members. And this is where they could also add what we call view-only users, homeowners who want to look at things but don't have access to uPlanIt, can't make any changes, things like that. So they get to see documents, user accounts, and purpose of today's program, uPlanIt. You can see this is a December 31st fiscal year end property. You get this reminder every time you pop in, how long you'll have access. Again, through your budget season, we are here in November, polishing off December 31st fiscal year end budgets, and just acknowledge that and we can move on. So this is a 5-tab tool. There's the components that you're introduced to on the first tab, control panel, where you see that it's set up with a monthly budget, fiscal year end of December, the base year of 2024, the year of the reserve study, starting balance, interest inflation. I'm going to tell you a little rabbit hole story here. Current replacement value, this is for a different type of report, not for a reserve study. We also have a portfolio of, or a whole section of clients that are for property improvement replacement, basically facility condition assessments. And they have an entirely different parameter. This is not for our reserve study clients. There's recommendations where you're actually dealing with the funding plan. You get to see where it's going, what the funding plan is doing. And this is like your control panel. You can see your reserve expenses through the years. Got a light year to start with, builds, a few years of break, big one, a few years of break. Basically you get to see what's going on at your association. We give you the ability to override anything automatic that you do as far as funding it, special assessments, and then tables and charts. One thing to point out, I'll take you back to the components, is that on every tab, there's a different tutorial. And there's an overall video tutorial. So there's a lot of hand-holding that we try to do. Again, that's why we say we've tried to make it user-friendly and easy for you to access. So for the 70% of you who haven't gone in and touched it, this is your introduction. If you want to watch this video over again, this webinar over again, it's going to be available on YouTube, or you can see little videos here to help you through it. So let me just give you the big picture here. We have this concept called chapters. And this is a simple association, so there's only one chapter of components. But if you have perhaps, let's say, a high-rise, we might have a chapter of recreational components, chapter of systems, mechanical and systems components, maybe a chapter of interior components, the hallways, the mailboxes, the lobby, and maybe a chapter of exterior components, building, painting, balconies, roofing, things like that. But you can see here we've got one chapter worth of component. That's a blue tab. And then you can see some of the line items are grayed out. And that's because we just want to acknowledge that they are there, but you can see here they are not funded. All right? So if you want to change something, try to make it easy, and let's do this, okay? As a townhome association, they have some asphalt. Let's pretend that the local utility company came in and absolutely tore up their roads and streets, putting in new water line and new sewer line. So they tore up the streets. They made them new again. So I click to edit. Things over here turn red. And I'm going to push this 5 years remaining out to 24 years remaining. They did the work this year in 2023. So next year in 2024, it'll be 1 year old. And I'm going to save those changes. And there you go. I've pushed that project out 20 some years. I'm going to say because company, utility company resurface our streets. All right. And then what else can we do? And then we'll still seal the asphalt next year. And let's say you get the good news that the local municipality, you learn that the municipality takes care of your pole, your street lights. And so let's edit this. And you can do this two ways. You can turn these to zeros, or you can just simply unfund this component. All right. And you see that pole lights now are gray like the other unfunded components. And let's scroll down and let's find something else. Let's say wood fence. Let's say it's really in worse condition than we thought, and it needs to be done this year. So let's change it to remaining useful life as 0. And you got a proposal, and it's actually $12,500, not $11,000. Based on 11, 14, 23 proposal. Okay? Save. So this is how you make changes. And if at any point in time you are uncomfortable with what you've done, you can click this button, reset to original data. It allows you to double check. I'm going to do that for now. But if you think you're onto something good, by all means, either export it or print it. Get a good document of what you've done. You can also go to tables and charts and select the component details, and you'll get pretty much the same table over again. You can see the asphalt that we pushed out, the street lights are gone, and the wood fence replace is 0 remaining useful life. Okay? So that's how you get to do these things, and I'll reset it because I'm going to do some other things in this analysis. Actually, no, let's leave it this way. All right? And that's what it means to adjust your components. And I was going to talk you through the cost, which we've done, timing, deleting. You can actually literally delete a component, or, let me show you adding a component. 2 ways to add a component, one at a time. You can see the help here, new component will be added to the current chapter, or you can add an entirely new chapter to the component list, or import an entirely new block of components if you want to import something you have on a spreadsheet. Well, let's add a component. What do you say? Let's do something crazy. The pool, a key reader. heat reader at the pool fence, okay? So let's add. You see it created it right here. It automatically numbered it as the highest number, so it'll populate down to the bottom of the list. And it automatically says, yeah, let's fund for this. And what did we say we're going to do? Pool, gate, key, replace. And there's one, and it's a outdoor, but a technological item. Let's give it a 10-year useful life. It was new this year, so it'll be 1 year old next year. And let's say you spent $10,000 on it, and new in 123 from ABC Pool Service. Okay? And watch what happens. It's number 1821. I'm going to click Save, and it's going to disappear, and you wonder, where the heck did that go? Well, it went down here to 1821. It ordered it where you thought it should be. Well, let's put it somewhere where you think it should be. Let's, why don't we put it here, right next to the pool fence and rail? So let's call it number 1108. What do you say? So I activate the editing. 1108. Save it. And now it's right up here where we want it with the pool fence and rail. Okay? Watching the time, I want to move on. So that's how that all works. All right, what do you say we move on to the next idea here? At Association Reserves, we make the present less stressful and the future more secure. If you want to join us in this mission, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Leave a comment down below on what you'd like to see us address in a future video. Let's plan for your best future.